Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to look at two new 270 cartridges. We're going to compare the 6.8 Western to the 27 Nosler. We're going to briefly look at their history. Then we're going to look at their ballistics to see how they do compared to each other downrange. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and look at the 6.8 Western. The 6.8 Western was introduced earlier this year in 2021. Its parent case is the 270 WSM. Performance-wise, it's going to be very similar to the 270 WSM, but what really sets apart the 6.8 Western from the 270 Winchester, the 270 WSM, and the 270 Weatherby is that all of its factory rifles come with a faster twist rate than 1 in 10, which means that they can shoot heavy, high ballistic bullets. While the 270 Winchester's bullet range goes from anywhere from basically 100 grains all the way up to the big 160 grain like partition, the 6.8 Western really excels beyond the 160 grain bullets. So as such in this picture versus the 270 Winchester, I believe in this one is shooting a 170 grain bullet. So this thing is made for the big, heavy bullets and for long distance shooting. In 2020, Nosler introduced its newest cartridge, which of course is the 27 Nosler. Now, this cartridge is based off the 28 Nosler, just neck down to 277. And of course, the 28 Nosler's parent case is the 300 Remington Ultra Mag. Now, the 27 Nosler does fit a standard length action. And I forgot to tell you, the 6.8 Western is a short length action. And the 27 Nosler is extremely quick. In fact, it is the fastest 270 cartridge. Now, since we have reloading data for the 27 Nosler, unfortunately I don't have any for the 6.8 Western. I just thought it'd be fun to show you the numbers for this beast. 130 grain bullet starts out at almost 3,500, goes over 3,500, and almost to 3,600 feet per second. Now, take in mind that the 270 Winchester shoots that at a top of like 3,150, kind of max for the 270 Winchester. This is insane performance from the 27 Nosler. But just like the 6.8 Western, it also has a pretty fast twist rate of 1 in 8.5. So this can also shoot heavy high BC bullets, such as the 165 grain. So that Nosler Accubon long range with a BC of 0.620, and hand loading it, you can get this going right at 3,200 feet per second. Let's go ahead and look at the ballistics. We'll start out with the 6.8 Western, and to make it fair, I'm just going to use factory ammo for both the 6.8 and the 27 Nosler. Now, the velocity is starting out at 2970 with the 6.8, and its energy is 3,200, so that's pretty darn good. That's about the same energy as a 30-06, but this thing's going to definitely outperform a 30-06 downrange. Out to 400 yards, it's still going almost 2,400 feet per second, and that energy is almost 2,100 foot-pounds. And the drop is only 23.87 inches. Let's see how far this thing can go before it hits 1,500 foot-pounds. So this will go almost 700 yards. That's pretty awesome. It is a darn good long distance shooting cartridge. And out at 700 yards, you have 103 inches of drop when it's zeroed at 100 yards. Let's take this out to 1,000, because this is a long distance cartridge, and it's going 1,600 plus feet per second and exactly 1,000 foot-pounds of energy. And at 1,000 yards, 261 inches of drop. Now looking at the factory ammo for the 27 Nosler with the exact same bullet, it's going 3,150 feet per second. So it has almost a 200 foot per second advantage. Energy, 3,600 foot-pounds. That's a lot for a 270 cartridge. Out to 400 yards. This thing is going 2,500 feet per second and 2,375 foot-pounds of energy. Let's see how far we can take it out before it hits 1,500 foot-pounds. And look at that. It almost makes it to 800 yards. And let's go ahead and look at the drop at 800 yards, 127.3 inches. It's a pretty darn flat shooting cartridge. Let's go ahead and take this out to 1,000. And it's going almost 1,800 feet per second and 1,100 foot-pounds of energy. And if you remember, the drop for the 6.8 Western at 1,000 was 260. This one's just 228. So there is a sizable difference between the two. Let's talk about advantages and disadvantages for each of these cartridges. Let's go ahead and start with the 6.8 Western. So some of the advantages. You get a fast magnum in a short length action, and you get to shoot really high BC bullets, and so you have a lot of great long distance performance. The disadvantages for this cartridge is really its availability. Finding ammo for it and finding rifles for this thing, from what I've heard this year, it's been pretty hard to find. Now let's talk about the 27 Nosler advantage and disadvantages. So advantages. You get one of the flattest shooting cartridges, and you get the fastest 270 cartridge available. You also get a fast twist rate, so you can shoot those higher BC bullets just like the 6.8 Western. Now let's talk about the disadvantage. This cartridge is probably pretty hard to find. I actually haven't seen any factory ammo for this cartridge ever. And it's expensive, really expensive to get. And lastly, if you're planning to use this as a target rifle, your barrel life is going to be pretty short. If you're just going to hunt with it, it's not going to be a big deal. It's going to last for years and years and years. But those are the advantages and disadvantages. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Let me know in the comments below if you would prefer a 6.8 Western or the 27 Nosler. Thanks again for watching.